What's going on? How are we doing this morning? I'm great. Thanks for asking. As you've noticed, kind of got away from doing 2 videos a week. Things are going to be a little bit more unstructured. Falling off this rock. So as you notice, I haven't been uploading quite as frequent. Part of that just because not as much is going on and I want to make sure things are relevant. I don't really have an interest in just saying, hey, this is my life, this is what's going on. I want to stay very focused on the company, Africa, and things that are specific to that, because I think that's what's most interesting and that's what I have to offer. In that vein, still trying to figure out kind of what's going on with Roy and the factory since things are flooded. I talked to my buddy Mike. You remember Mike? He came and visited me in Mombasa. Thoughts on your first boat experience?
Dude, I want to get in on this so badly.
He's in the States right now, so we talked a little bit. I'm actually trying to see if he can go to Mombasa to visit the factory, be a set of eyes for me. His options are open and, you know, he's a great guy. One of the big things in the last vlog, I basically said I was quitting my job. Last week I told my boss I'm gonna leave my job and move to Africa. Things have changed a little bit. A couple things have happened. You know, when I did that vlog, my boss didn't really have a whole lot of time to process that, talk about it, and kind of see how that was gonna work out. My boss talked to his boss and said, hey, we can keep you in your current role for a little bit longer. I told him that if I had to go right now to Africa, quit my job, that'd be a little bit quick, especially since I'm not really sure how things are in Kenya. He's giving me the option to kind of stay in my current role, and now things are a little bit more open-ended, which gives me more flexibility, which is good. But I just want to get back to Kenya. I still plan on leaving my job at some point, I just don't know when that point is. And one of the other curveballs in this whole situation, which I haven't touched on at all, is that Kenya has a presidential election August 8th. Now, I don't plan for things to be violent or anything. I certainly hope not. I'm sure you hope they're peaceful as well. You never really know what's going on. That's why I was thinking either late July or end of August, because then I'm missing that beginning part of August when the election's going on. That's basically my update, so let's get on with the day. Runtime. Sadly, this tree met its demise. Because of keeping the grass green, all the water rushed down to it and it drowned. And we didn't catch it soon enough. Dad chopped it down. I pulled cleanup duty. Afternoon, guys. So I want to begin discussing something that has been mentioned in the vlogs but haven't really dove into, yet it's central to venture. It's a fact that 100% of the profit from the bags that we sell gets invested back into businesses in Africa. Because with everything that I want to do, it's about reinvesting all the money back here in Kenya. Why? How's that going to happen? That's what I want to start discussing. Because it's new, it's different, and it's cool. But first I want to kind of lay the foundation of that idea. In a nutshell, in this area of social entrepreneurship, you have profit and then you have purpose. And somehow those are supposed to come together in the business model. Yet generally speaking, those are often at odds. Pursuing profit takes away from purpose. And in Africa, the social businesses that are out there, that is almost always the case. Because it's almost always, we sell this product to do this in the community. It's sell a product to do charity. Charity's an expense. You give money, you don't expect it to come back. Therefore, either the organization has to eat that money or pass it on to the customer. And that's why typically these products cost too much.
It wasn't very difficult for me to look at the P&L and the projections to realize that they were selling this granola bar or umbrella or sneaker for twice the price that it needed to be so they could afford to actually give the sneaker. So what you were doing actually was your intent was to look like a good person but still make as much money, every dollar that you would have if you didn't have the bullshit model that you were donating something.
Or the organization is eating that money and therefore they don't have capital to grow. And so it's limiting, and that's why so many of these companies are relegated to the niches that they occupy. They can be successful. I mean, a company like Tom's Shoes, I mean, they have a charity model, but yet they have a fantastic product that has a high margin. and therefore they're able to recover that charity expense and still grow. Most companies out of Africa aren't like that, which is why Tom's actually makes their shoes in China. It's really hard to make a great quality product at a good price in Africa. And when you add charity on top of that, it makes it even more difficult. Everything that I've wanted to do in starting venture is shift away from the idea where profit and purpose are in conflict to where they're perfectly aligned. Think of solar energy companies or anyone in kind of the clean tech space, where if they can figure out a way to make profitable energy, solar panels, whatever, it's a win-win. Yet no company that I've seen has really been able to create a win-win situation in Africa. And fundamentally, that's why I left the company I was working with in Uganda. Because profit and purpose were at odds. The company was idling, and I just thought so much more could be done. I mean, just think about why we educate people so that they can get a good job. Why is health so important? Because it takes them away from being productive in society. And those are good things that need to be pursued, but at the same time, people have never been more educated and healthier in Africa. Yet those jobs aren't there.
Education scholars and researchers reckon that only 25% of university graduates get meaningful employment in the Kenyan job market, leaving a whopping 75% to fend for themselves.
And so it's not to say that those things aren't important, they are. But there's a huge need to be directly involved with that wealth creation process, doing business. It's much easier to support entrepreneurs, support business, than actually do business. If I'm taking that profit from the products that we sell and investing in the community, I'll still tell you a great story, but unless it's actually true, unless that business works, I'm never going to see a dime. And I think that's the way it should be. I should be the one taking the risk, not the people in Africa. I should get paid after they get paid by investing all the profit. Profit and purpose are aligned. If I sell more products, that means I have more profit, but I have to invest it in the community. Therefore, more profitable means more money put into the community. And only if that money that I put in the community in those business investments, if they actually work, that's the only way I ever see profit myself. Which is very different than saying, hey, I'm gonna take 10% of the profit, educate these people, and then, oh my gosh, it's amazing, we're gonna transform Africa, and then it ends. Without realizing if actually that education paid off.
There is another side of the Kenyan education system which has caused a lot of shedding of tears and gnashing of teeth among hundreds of thousands of graduates. For instance, what would you say if you met a Kenyan with a master's degree who operates a motorcycle taxi for a living?
That's not to disparage charity, like education, all the stuff is good and important, we need to do it. But I hope you understand a little bit of kind of why we're going that direction. It's not about giving 10% of the profit or 50% of the profit to, these organizations. It's investing 100%, me, myself, investing on the ground and accountable to the results and bring people out of poverty. But that's good for the day. It's good for this vlog. So until next time, peace.